Hey, everybody.
Hey, fans. How's it going?
How you doing?
We are so glad that you joined us for our fourth episode of Spoiler Alert. We're so excited. We're going to talk today about, of course, the fourth episode of What If.
Yeah, and fall. Fall is here, specifically at the Disneyland Resort.
yes. It's the spooky season has arrived.
Spooky season.
That's so good.
But yes, we'll just jump right on in. We did not watch this morning at the same time. But I think we both ended up watching it at the same time.
I think we did.
Funny enough.
Let's take a second to explain. So normally Nick and I watch them together at the same time in our house. We are married. We watch it together. We wake up. It's the first thing we do in the morning is we'll watch the new episode. Today, Nick woke up in Las Vegas because he was there on a trip for work. So he came home. I was already at work. And on my lunch break, I watched it. And
as soon as I touched down and I got home, that was the first thing I did was watch it. And then I think we ended at the exact same time because you texted me, wow, that episode. And I was like, yeah, wow, wait, we just watched it at the same time.
Pretty sweet, right? Pretty cute.
But yeah, very interesting, very different tone.
Oh my gosh. It was so good, but it was so much. It was so heavy.
Lot. It was heavy.
I felt like I had just watched a movie. That was the plot of a film.
Yeah. Did you... I had heard that the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was going to be taking a different tone. So I wonder if this is kind of setting up what we might be
expect,
or the type of tone that characters movies are going to be taking, because they did say that movie was going to be a very different tone, and this episode with Doctor Strange took a very different tone.
Yeah, that's true, and that could very well be possible. Definitely. And if so, I'm excited for it.
But also interesting, this episode did not really interlock with any other MCU superheroes. I think in the first two, we had a lot of overlap where we saw a very specific... even though they were, the first one was kind of an origin story that had more crossover, and the second one was farther along in the MCU where you had kind of more people popping in and out. So this was an origin story that was kind of self-contained in the movie, but
it was. I guess it's most comparable to episode 1 because just like episode 1, you get a little recap of the movie first.
Yeah.
Or of the events anyway, because it was you watched basically the highlights of the Doctor Strange movie in the first 2 minutes of this episode.
Yeah, but you didn't have any of the you didn't have any crossover, which I don't know. Everything on this show so far seems so intentional that I'm wondering what the intentionality was behind having such a singularity with this episode and having it be, because in this timeline, that universe just ends.
Well, yeah.
So what's the...
And that was interesting because that is maybe the one thing that does tie it together with the series as a whole is that he spoke to the Watcher. He's called the Watcher, right?
Yes, he's called the Watcher, but this is the first time we've seen the Watcher talk to the camera
people
and to people at the same time. And he did say because of him being the Sorcerer Supreme is why he could sense his presence. But it's interesting because the Watcher knew that this was a timeline that essentially had to end, that kind of faded, and it was not the kind of main timeline.
Right. And he was kind of he kind of gave him some tood. He was like, you of all people should know when you mess with time
messes back. That's from something.
Is that from? It wasn't from anything.
What's that from?
Oh my gosh.
No, that's from something. Jeez, it's gonna bug me. Maybe it's not time, but it's when you mess with something messes.
That sounds right. That sounds like a thing.
That sounds like any 80s movie tagline.
Well, now it's the tagline for Doctor Strange.
Okay.
When you mess with time,
it messes back.
Yeah, time messes back. Gosh, yes. It was I love Doctor Strange. I really love Doctor Strange, but I love Doctor Strange because I love Benedict Cumberbatch. And I love Benedict Cumberbatch because I love Sherlock. And I love Sherlock because it's just one of the best shows. It's an amazing show. I really do. I love it. Like if I had to choose, my top 5 or whatever shows of all time, like I know that's in my list for sure. Sherlock is.
I think so. It was me too. I don't know about top 5, but it's definitely one.
I think it's just incredible.
Oh, it's such a good show. It's
we don't have any Sherlock merch. Why don't we?
Why don't we?
I've got even a great idea because
what do you have?
Like a couple years ago, I was looking for something very specific.
What did you want?
I wanted a sticker, like a decal sticker of the spray paint happy face. And I had a really hard time finding it. Now, I haven't done that search again in a long time.
You couldn't find the spray paint happy face?
I love that spray paint happy face on the wall because I feel like it's, there are some more obvious nods. Like I've seen the I am Sherlocked thing. Yeah. Like you see that on stuff. It's fun. It's cute. I get it. But that like spray paint happy face is
on like the Victorian wallpaper.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's like a flourishy, almost haunted mansion-esque wallpaper and then the bright yellow spray paint happy face. And I feel like that is
that'd be a cool
really
shirt.
Oh yeah. Well, I think
sticker,
I might need to do that. You guys get to hear the brainstorming process live as it happens. Look for that because now that I've decided I want this, I will make it.
That'd be cool. I wonder if there's any, we'll probably have to talk about this after the pod, but any Doctor Strange, I know this is out there, but it's usually very on the nose. Any Doctor Strange Sherlock kind of crossover merchandise?
I thought you were going to say fan fiction, and I was yes, there is.
Oh.
I mean, I assume. I don't know. Someone probably would.
Well, this half of the table is not that nerdy.
Oh, man.
Anyway,
No, merch.
Merch, but bringing it back to Doctor Strange.
Yes.
I kept asking myself, where is the TVA if he's going back in time or if he's altering time? But then, we read something that it was the limitations of the stone, of the time stone, that are moving back and forth in a singular timeline, not branching. He's not going back and creating a new timeline. He's trying to alter what's essentially already been written, which is why it can't. Yes. He can't create a Nexus event.
He cannot, but he was trying to. Essentially, he's trying to break away from the absolute point. This absolute point that
would affect
Tilda Swinton's character. What's her name?
The something one. The
bald one.
Ancient one.
The ancient one.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna say the chosen one, and I was like, no,
that's Harry Potter.
Or The Matrix.
Oh, right. Or sure. Yeah. Pick a thing.
Of Star Wars. Anyways. So it was a non-nexusable event.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. It's like a non-fungible token, but a non-nexusable event. I'd wear that shirt too.
Oh man, that's a deep cut there.
You don't think people would like that?
I think it's neat.
N. It's like
no, that's event starts with an E.
Yeah, but it's like reading, writing, and arithmetic. It's like the 3 R's. It's like non-nexusable event. Okay. Anyways, I kept thinking like, we should be seeing the TVA because he's like doing the things, but it was a event that couldn't be changed because it would stop him from being able. It was very Back to the Future. Where by changing the event, it would mean that he wouldn't be there in the future to go back to that event. And
just like Back to the Future, that's when the people disappear from the pictures or from when the people turn to lava lamps.
Lava lamp Inky, but they just start disappearing.
Right.
But yeah, that was really interesting because I think like many people, you're trying to kind of stay one step ahead of the story. Mm-hmm. And in seeing when he went back, you're like, oh, I've just seen this in Loki. We're gonna have the TVA show up, and then they don't, and you're that's the whole like splitting with the two Doctor Stranges. I did not see that as the twist.
No, me either. Me either. I was so confused when he was sitting there talking to the guy, the library guy, and he was like dying, and he says that line about like the other Doctor Strange, and he's like, "Don't you know?" And I was thinking maybe he meant more in a metaphorical sense, but no, there really was another one, and when that was explained, I was like,
which is
whoa,
really interesting because the Ancient One also acknowledges that splitting somebody like that is incredibly dangerous because it is you're having two people living in one reality, which obviously like destabilizes the reality. But did you see the fan theory that the trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home is not necessarily him there's a theory that he's not actually traveling through the multiverse, is that he is split, kind of like what we just saw.
He being
Peter Parker.
Oh, Peter Parker
gets to be split and have a version that is Spider-Man and a version that is Peter Parker without powers, and basically we'll like rewind time to that event and split them so that somebody
with the help of Doctor Strange.
With the help of Doctor Strange, somebody becomes Peter Parker.
You know, that's interesting.
Or somebody becomes Spider-Man and has the powers, and then Peter Parker doesn't have the powers. So, and the only person that knows that he's supposed to have the powers is Peter Parker. But it's some people, you know, before this episode, were jumping to the multiverse theory where it's like he's jumping between different realities of Spider-Man, which is how we saw potentially going to see the first two Sony iterations of Spider-Man, because we saw the, like, I'm going to call it a thermal detonator from the Green Goblin, and then we saw Doc Ock.
I think originally those were supposed to be little pumpkins.
Yeah, but to me they look like the Star Wars thermal detonators.
They do. They really do.
Just green.
Yeah.
But then we saw Doc Ock, and people were like, "Oh, multiverse, he's jumping between realities." But this kind of unstabling of the timeline when you have two people living in it might be what maybe weakens the barrier between them and lets stuff kind of spill between them. But it is still one singular timeline with two versions of Peter Parker. Well, I think that
there will definitely
multiple versions of Peter Parker.
There will have to be some kind of time element in Spider-Man No Way Home because Doctor Strange is a part of it. And otherwise, why would he be? Why would he be, right?
Well, I mean, it might be because of it. This episode might have been planting the seed for that kind of that option that we haven't seen. Because right now, you know, go back, do something, do an Nexus event, it makes a new branch in the timeline. This now shows us that you can go back within your own timeline and split somebody with two different decisions, almost making like two mini timelines happening, you know, within one another.
Oh, crazy.
So super interesting.
Crazy.
That's crazy. What is that from?
You have to stop asking that. I don't know. I don't think it's from anything.
That's crazy. What is that from?
It just sounds like you're saying that's crazy in a weird voice.
Okay. Never mind.
But I do want to say that, like, I think there were so many things I loved about this episode, but what I also really loved was just this story of his, like, devotion to Christine. Because in his movie, it's his love interest, yeah, but really he's kind of a jerk to her.
Yeah.
Like he is, you know, and so you don't really get this idea. You feel like she's pining more than he is, and his whole journey is about him and his hands. And so this, what if he lost his heart instead of his hands, and this idea that she actually does go with him in the car, and that's, you know, that dinner, scene. Yeah. She goes to the dinner instead of him going alone. And oh my gosh, just to see this kind of repeating of events in every possible scenario where they go later, they don't go, they get pizza, they go a different way, she drives, he drives, like no matter what it was, it has to happen. And it's just heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to watch that over and over. And like, it was giving me like some Groundhog Day vibes, obviously, but in a much better, more tasteful way than Groundhog Day. And it also, like, when he did finally bring her back, did anyone else, like, were you reminded kind of like the the Deathly Hallows and the Resurrection Stone, and that story of the brother that brings back his lost love, but she's not the same, and you know, and he doesn't want to live because it's not, or it's kind of almost like the Corpse Bride as well, kind of idea.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's definitely one of those, like, be careful what you wish for,
yes,
kind of thing, where what it took to get the thing that you wanted now makes that thing not really what you wanted.
Right.
Like, to save her, he had to end all reality. So what's the point of her being saved? Because then all reality ended.
She goes away.
Anyways.
Right. And then what is the end? I mean, is the end that he's locked alone in his own little bubble of nothing the end of time?
No, I think it gets consumed in that timeline.
He's just floating in like a little, and he's just going like crying, no, and like that was it.
I mean, I guess maybe that's
is that
the
how
cliffhanger that
it ends?
We'll see.
Yeah.
But to me, that was more like in the idea from Loki, where you're seeing all these timelines. You know, this one was just destined to just kind of stop at a certain point.
Or that's the eternity that he must suffer for messing with time. Like,
but he, I mean, I guess that's his punishment, is that he's the only one left in his universe.
The only thing left
in this bubble. But maybe that bubble will move to another timeline. I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah,
but it just really ends like that. It just ends, and you're just like, whoa.
It ends on a really heavy note, and you were waiting for that, like, comic book, or that early comic book movie kind of resolve where everything just
they kiss
ends,
and it's Beauty and the Beast, and
you're like, our life now is
and
everybody's back to normal.
Yes, exactly.
What a crazy time at camp I had. Yeah, no, it doesn't end like that. It just ends with him in pain, and that's man, it's not a kid show.
No. I thought that having all the original cast back for their voice acting once again
really helped.
Like, it's been incredible to see all of these people come back, and it made me wonder, how much are they getting paid? Because I just feel like often
probably
they have to be, right? Like, either that or they wrote this into their contracts. I don't really know.
Well, I mean, it's because it's all voiceover. It's very easy for people to be wherever they are.
It is. However, I do know that most voice actors or whatever, when there's an animated version of themselves, typically the real people or whatever, or the original characters, they don't want to do that, and they usually get sound-alikes.
They usually do.
Even like say,
not everybody did. Not everybody came. It's nice when they do, but
for instance, Toy Story. Like, when they do Toy Story shorts, Toy Story commercials.
It's Tom Hanks' brother.
Yeah, they get their sound-alikes. They get people who sound just like them.
Robert Downey Jr. did not come back as for Tony Stark in that one little bit.
Right.
In the second episode of What If.
Mm-hmm. And neither did Scarlett Johansson. That was not Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, I mean, with everything going on right now with that, I could have probably guessed.
Sure, but this was obviously prior.
Oh, I guess
to
so.
that.
You're right.
This would have been before. But all this to say, it was really nice to have all the originals doing their voices, and I just thought it really added to it.
Yeah, it adds something to it. Changing gears, Halloween time has come to the Disneyland Resort.
Yes!
Which, as Magic Key holders, we are very excited for.
So excited.
And we went last week, right after we got our passes.
We did, and happy to report that it was actually a really wonderful experience.
For going on a Saturday.
We went on a weekend, and you expect,
think, I mean, like, when we were growing up, the idea of going on a weekend was like, get ready.
It's going to be nuts.
But, with the reservation system and the kind of,
capping, whatever that number is.
Yeah, whatever that number or percentage is now, it was not bad at all. We were able to walk around. Our daughter was able to kind of walk next to us, and we didn't feel like it was too crazy. And we got to go on most things that we wanted to.
Yeah, actually Nick in his Instagram stories was posting pictures all day long of just empty areas, like, where are all the people?
Where is
everybody? I mean, it was great. So if you don't follow Nick on Instagram, he's always posting fun things like that on his story.
So I try to, it's also another point of contact for me professionally. And I connected to my Clubhouse. You guys can also follow me on Clubhouse, where I'm usually talking about business, and more of my image posts on Instagram will be business related or something to do with my work, because I'm very passionate about it. But my stories is where I kind of will do more day-to-day kind of fun stuff. So, everything on Disneyland, I usually throw it in the stories. So yeah, it was a lot of fun to be able to kind of take these stories. They kept happening where we're just looking around going, wow, in this area right now there's nobody in my eyesight.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was awesome. Another thing we tried out was the Magic Key, what was it called? Lounge?
Terrace. Magic Key Terrace.
Terrace.
Yeah.
In California Adventure, and it was so cool. I was thinking about all you guys, all you fans, honestly, when I was there, because they made this for the true original California Adventure fans, because you go up there. Let me just paint the picture. So it's where the terrace was for wine tasting.
It's like a wine tasting terrace.
Above like the wine trattoria area. So you go upstairs. Well, first you have to show them your magic key and get on the list. And then you go up the stairs to that area, and on the wall you see artwork from the original designs California Adventure, the big California letters, like a painting of the layout of the park, original layout.
Like concept art.
Yeah. Or it's not the park, I'm sorry, it's Grizzly River Run, but you can see other things around it.
It's definitely concept art of like of Grizzly Peak, because to the it's more facing where the point of view is kind of up in the air where the entrance to California, or to the Grand Californian is. So you're staring at Grizzly Peak. To your right is going to be what used to be the farm, something farms, Bountiful Farm, something farms, I can't remember, which the ketchup bottle in the Pim's Test Kitchen, the really, really oversized one that's up on the ceiling, the label is from that.
Oh, what a fun Easter egg.
Yeah, from
That's
those farms.
neat.
And I can't remember the name of the farms right now. But anyways.
You'll see this.
So
and
you'll see that.
You'll hear the music that they used to play when you'd walk into the park.
It was, yeah.
It's like a whole playlist of California songs.
which to have is like the through line that they're about California, and that's it. You get a very eclectic collection of California songs.
You do, but it's fun. Like you get California Dreamin', you get Beach Boys. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was good. It's a good time.
Mamas and the Papas.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun. And then the menu, all the items on the menu are actually a little bit wacky and weird. They're definitely like foodie type things, not your usual that you can order anywhere else in the park.
They had like a balsamic reduction goat cheese flatbread. They have a pizza Bloody Mary. Pizza Bloody Mary.
I mean, there's just like nothing on this menu is stuff you can get anywhere else.
They had a gin flight with 3 different mini gin cocktails that was themed after the original Soarin'. So there was one that was oranges. There was one that tasted like the sea from when
the way it smells.
The way it smells. So when you get sprayed like with the ocean, there was one that smelled like pine.
And it has like pine
like
in
a
it.
pine needle or a sprig of
sprig
of pine on it.
Oh man! So everything on the menu is themed to old attractions of California Adventure.
There's a Tower of Terror drink.
Yes, and I got that one.
You got that
I got the Tower of Terror. It was called like Drop In
If You Dare.
If You Dare, yes.
Yes.
And it's fun because it's a little like fancy cocktail that comes with a shot of cherry liqueur.
Yeah.
That was like dark cherry, and that's what you drop in if you dare. I put in as much as you dare to your drink, and I thought that was just delightful.
That was fun.
So we liked that a lot. I hope that stays around, and we're just telling you guys, but like don't tell too many people, because if it gets that in demand, then it's not gonna be fun anymore.
5 tables there. So.
it's really small. So keep it on the DL. Just
we're telling you, but don't tell anybody you know.
That's right. Don't do it. No, but it was good. We went, and obviously this was before they put up the big Mickey pumpkin or anything like that. But they did have the big Oogie Boogie, and
they did
what I like to call the giant tortilla. It's the moon, but it looks like a tortilla.
The spooky tortilla. It's the ghost of the tortilla factory. where the Ghirardelli soda fountain is.
But now they've got it all up. It's officially starting to be Halloween on the 3rd. And I think that's when Haunted Mansion with the overlay is going to open.
And I'm very excited. We saw that in the... there's like a Magic Key Lounge in the Starcade in Tomorrowland that has a photo op with the Muppets and Haunted Mansion, because there's going to be a Muppets Haunted Mansion holiday special on Disney Plus.
I can't wait.
I cannot wait. I can't wait to take a photo. We'll take a photo with our daughter.
Oh yes.
And it's going to be fun.
It's so
and
cute.
Here's hoping, putting it out into the world, projecting that
he's closing his eyes, he's lifting his hands.
That the Muppets will take over as a holiday overlay to replace the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, you're going to get some backlash on that one, I think. I know there are some diehard people.
It's time.
Yeah, you're right.
It was an old movie.
It's like 30 years old now.
There's probably more people that are going on that ride that have no idea what is going on.
Well, I don't think that's true. I think they play that movie every October, all October long on ABC.
Yeah, but how many Gen Zers are watching
And then they play it again in December.
Are watching basic cable.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
My sister has never seen that movie.
Really?
Yes. And I'm going to guess that her friends only know those characters as the Halloween Christmas mashup overlay characters from the Haunted Mansion.
I just don't understand why they don't just do it for Christmas only, because it's already a Halloween ride as it is, in my opinion.
One would think that the Halloween ride would come into its own during Halloween and would not be themed for the season that it is based on. Well, not based on, but has the most in common with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be great if it was just for Christmas and to like keep the Halloween going.
Yeah.
But they started so early. But oh man, wouldn't that be amazing?
But we like it anyway. We ride it every year and we smell the gingerbread and we get excited.
It has music that was arranged by
Danny Elfman.
I was gonna say Alan Menken. Nope.
No.
Danny Elfman.
That'd be a different kind of movie.
That'd be a different kind of ride.
With Alan Menken doing Nightmare Before Christmas. That's so good. It's Halloween, it's Christmas. Da, 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 da. I'm just imagining more musical theater-y versions of the themes from that movie. I'm so sorry.
You should do a parody of that.
Oh, heavens.
Of just one of the portions of the ride and put it on TikTok. And then maybe you could get like a Ratatouille TikTok musical to get some traction as an Alan Menken Haunted Mansion holiday.
That's wild.
I know you could do it.
I might do it.
You're really good at parodies.
Oh boy, I might. I'll think about it.
Okay, think about it.
But anyway, all this to say, we're very excited. We love the holidays, and by the holidays we mean, of course, starting with Halloween, which starts in September in this house. So I gotta get my decorations out. I mean, I've been pumpkin spicing already, and there's no decor in our house. We gotta pull out our decorations. We gotta think about Halloween costumes. I want to do a family costume this year.
Okay.
Even if there are no trick-or-treaters, I hope, let's all get vaccinated and save Halloween, please. Let's all wear our masks and do our job so we can go trick-or-treating this year, unlike last year.
Yeah.
But, do you guys know what you're going to be for Halloween yet? What do we think are going to be? We'll just end on this note.
Yeah.
I wonder what the big costumes of the year will be. My feelings are, probably Loki. Harley Quinn and Loki. Yeah. Yes. That's what I'm thinking.
And you can't pull off a Loki Halloween costume without our Loki variant jacket from Fan Service Apparel.
Or if you're going to be Harley Quinn, we got the Harley Quinn jacket as well.
We do, from the Suicide Squad movie, so it's updated.
That's right. So if that's the version you're going for, check it out. If there's something that you're like, I want to be this character, but I can't find blank unless it's, something this or that. Yeah, let us know.
Because deep cuts are our jam.
That's right. And if you want it, then chances are somebody else out there probably does too.
Yeah.
So,
definitely hit us up.
Let
us know.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that does it for today.
I think so. I think we talked about a lot of really great stuff.
Did talk a lot about
Thank you guys so much for listening. Please make sure to subscribe. Subscribe to our podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know where you listen.
We're live on Apple Podcasts now.
Oh, we are, yes. And maybe that's where you're listening today.
Maybe.
And if so, hit that little subscribe button. Please do. Then you'll be the first to know when our new episodes come out.
Yeah.
Every week.
Every week.
That's right. Okay.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.